Okay, so now we're going to talk about the corrosion of iron. So, corrosion. It refers to any process that chemically breaks down or degrades metal. The best known case of corrosion is the rusting of iron. Most metals will rust, but corrosion of iron and steel is a serious problem because these metals are widely used. As rust flakes off an iron structure, more metal is exposed to the environment, and the structure is weakened over time as more and more metal is exposed. So, have you ever left a metal tool or toy outside and found that it rusted and broke? If so, you might think that rust is a decomposition reaction, when in fact, rusting is a simple composition reaction. So, the corrosion of iron, as iron reacts with oxygen to produce iron oxide, which is commonly called rust. So, the equation is solid iron and oxygen gas produce solid iron 3 oxide. So scientists and engineers are concerned about the corrosion of steel. Unless rusting is prevented, it will weaken iron steel structures, and the rusting of the steel used to reinforce concrete in bridges and buildings can cause the structures to collapse. So repairing or replacing these structures costs millions of dollars. So solving the problem of corrosion. Have you ever noticed that metal parts of a car that have been damaged in a collision are more susceptible to rusting? Why would some parts of the car rust while others remain rust-free? And the answer is the way in which the metals are protected. So painting. One way to protect metals is to give them a protective coating of paint. Painting other metals over metals prevents oxygen and water from reaching the surface of the metal. This explains why steel beams used in office buildings or bridges are often painted with red paint, or in the case of our lovely Peace River Bridge, blue paint. So painting, however, may not be the best way to permanently protect iron or steel. So once the paint chips off, water and oxygen are free to attack the steel, and the rust blisters grow very rapidly. So galvanizing. Another way to protect steel or iron is to use a process called galvanization. Galvanization is a process of applying a zinc coating to the iron or steel. This involves immersing the metal in a bath containing molten zinc. This process coats the metal with a layer of zinc that provides a protective barrier between the metal and the environment. Galvanized coating adheres to the base metal and resists chipping and cracking. In fact, the zinc coating actually becomes a part of the surface steel. So galvanizing is something that is done mainly in nails, as said here. So some galvanized nails have a polymer coating to increase the protection to them. So sacrificial metals. A third method of protecting iron involves the use of a sacrificial metal. If you could look closely at an underground oil pipeline, you would notice bars or ingots of a second metal, such as magnesium, is buried with the pipeline. The magnesium will corrode, but the pipeline will not. In this case, the magnesium is a sacrificial in order to protect the pipeline. It is much easier and cheaper to replace the bars of magnesium than it is to repair a ruptured pipeline. So, in this particular picture here, you can see the pipeline there, the iron pipe, and the magnesium is added to it. The electrons will pass from the magnesium into the iron pipe, and this prevents the rusting of the iron pipe at the expense of the magnesium anode. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed, and that's it for